are live. Hopefully that was a good intro. If you guys liked it, give this video a thumbs up. All right, so I am broadcasting. Good. Awesome. Let me know how the audio and the video is feeding. Hopefully all is to your liking. Hopefully the sound is good. Video is good. Connection is strong. Hopefully your LTE or your Wi-Fi is tip-top right now. Everything's good on your side. Everything's good on mine. Let's see who we got in the chat. As you guys are coming in, please do like this video. Do your boy a solid and hit that like button. And also pop into the live chat and say hello to the SMT. I'll be on for about an hour today. The podcast is way early. Usually do the podcast around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. But today, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I would have to do this a little bit earlier, which explains why this is broadcasting at 5:47 p.m. So, a little bit of explanation as to why I'm on now. But it is good to have you guys on here, whoever is here in the live. Thank you for being here this evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you are watching this, whichever hemisphere, whichever part of the world, whatever season you're in, whatever your time zone, it doesn't matter. Glad you guys can make it tonight. Nintendo 504 is in the house. Ricky, it is good to have you on. Ricky was knighted a moderator. Please do congratulate him as you guys are coming into the live chat. I'll be holding it down tonight with the wrench. Good news coming for LTE and 5G. 8x8 MIMO, that sounds amazing. 4x4 for uploading, even better. I've had a huge issue with the slow speeds we've had in upload lately. Just has not been where I think it should be. As somebody uses quite a bit of LTE, and I do have a YouTube channel that I do upload videos to through LTE. I'll be looking forward to that. That's great news, Ricky. Thanks for tuning us into that. Software algorithm that reduces interference, DMRSS, reduce SNR and help reduce ping and increase speeds. That's great, especially moving forward. And you think about IoT and those latencies got to be low. So a really low ping is good. That's music to my ears. And of course, who doesn't want faster speeds? That's awesome. Good to hear, Ricky. Thanks for tuning us in. Netflix to be bought out. I've been hearing rumors of that. Good to have you on, Tom. Cash Games, what up? Good to have you on, sir. Small cell coming out called Relay Node. Fiber backhaul to extend to areas with now internet. Works kind of like a mesh network. That's pretty cool. Well, anytime you get fiber involved, good speeds happen. So, you know. What's up, John? Scott? Ronald in the house? A patron? All right. Video and audio is great. Fantastic. John, good to have you on, sir. Omar is in the house. COMP coming out too. All right. That is a lot. Willie Watson's in the house. Excellent. Good. It's feeding. Excellent. All right, fantastic. Roberto, good to have you on. 30 already. And we're early too. Like we just got to going. AT&T is playing this great. AT&T does a good job with the network. Not surprised there. Brad, thank you. Switch from Cricket to AT&T. I was going to say, John, like, what'd you really change though? Coverage, you kept it, but like priority, right? And speeds. MT Houston, Texas, thank you so much for the super chat, sir. Appreciate you, man, making that donation, supporting production here on the SMT YouTube channel, and supporting the future of Yasmin. Thank you so much for the super chat. AT&T prepaid. Okay. So you're going with the bargain. I dig it. Puerto Rican Groot. What up? John says blackout. I'm back. Should be good the rest of the way, too. What's up, Jason? Good to have you on. 248 in the LA. Must be nice out there and all that beautiful warm weather. Summer here. Always summer in the Florida Keys. Stevie Sanchez is here. Mod Squad in the house. Supadeka, Discord gang in the house. Jamaal, good to have you on, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Looks like notifications are just getting sent out. I don't know how you guys got them, but it's at least they're coming out. We'll get going here in a second. Daniel, Gregory, good to have you guys on. Salvador, good to have you on as well. First time I've seen Salvador. Everybody welcome Salvador to the chat. James, what's happening? AT&T speeds are amazing. 130 most. Wow, that's really good. That is really, really good. You know, T-Mobile's just did a ton of upgrades in this area, man. Wow. So, like, I was about to do my T-Mobile review. I've had them for a couple of months now, so I was gonna do the review, and then all of a sudden, like, I started checking speeds the last few days, and speeds are like double, triple in some cases. Like at work, they've gone from like 40, 50 megs to like 160 megs. It's crazy. So I'm kind of waiting to do the review. I just want to do a few more days of testing, and then I'll wrap up my T-Mobile review. What's up, Daniel? John, good to see you on, man. Sean, what up? I got some stuff I got to handle tonight. I actually have to fix my sister-in-law's MacBook. It's having trouble getting power to it. I'm going to check the battery. I'm going to check some of the action on the board. We'll see what's going on there. But I got to dedicate like probably a couple of hours to this. So, and I got work in the morning, so there's just not enough time. I'm going to have to do this now. So we'll see what happens. It's a pretty good deal. Frank, good to have you on. What's up, Randy? Good to have you on. Oh man, it was an awesome win, bro. I mean, besides the ending getting kind of messy and getting kind of unsportsmanlike, it was a good game. Huge win. 317 on Sprint in Vegas. That's what's crazy about Sprint, Ryan. When they're good, they're great. When the service is there, it's amazing. They just don't have enough of that around the nation, you know. Hey, James. Hey, glad you could be here, man. Appreciate the kind words. And hey, I'm just glad to keep everybody informed. Welcome, and thanks for being a part of the SMT Nation. I've had Tom, I've had T-Mobile for over 2 months. Like 2.5 months, probably. Not sure how you're counting, but yeah, I've had it for about 9 or 10 weeks at least. Oh yeah, fix some MacBooks. That's right. Yeah, you know what, John? That's kind of true. It's almost like they're like, oh, wait a minute, we can't rest on our laurels anymore. We got to get to going on this network thing. What's up, Johns? 60 in the house. Yeah, we got a lot of people here. Glad to have you guys. 275 down on Metro. Holy cow. Miles Garrett, man, that boy crazy, bro. You don't want to test that dude, bro. He ain't taking it. What's up, Mills? What's happening, bro? Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so here's what we're doing tonight. Big news, in case you guys didn't see the video. Go ahead and check it out maybe after this podcast, after we live stream. I did a video covering the big news coming from T-Mobile CEO John Legere. John has declared his future, and John is not going to WeWork. John will not accept or take the position at WeWork to be their next CEO. For the time being, he will stay with T-Mobile as the CEO. No word on what his future holds, but I will say that I firmly believe that John is not long for T-Mobile, but he is just not ready to go to WeWork. So I think that's what we'll talk about tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that situation, what possibly happened between John and WeWork, what happened between their visions, maybe some discussion talk. I personally believe it might be a money thing. I'll get to that. We'll also talk about this morning's video where I covered the potential issue with Dish Network trying to purge and get rid of low-income customers that are on less profitable plans. Both of these things are huge, in my opinion. I think the story about Dish is probably bigger in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, everybody loves to talk about John. He is the face of the franchise. He is the big ticket, as they say. And, it's a big deal when a CEO is coming and going. But as a consumer, it's probably more important to consider what's going to happen, in terms of the merger. So with Dish and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on here. T-Mobile just signed up for first responder plan, saving $50. Nice. That's really good. Glad you could take advantage of that, James. And thanks for your service as a first responder. I've been with them for 7 years, sucked at first, but since like 2016. Okay, good. So they've invested in Vegas. That's good. Ronald, thank you for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it, man. Ronald, a very kind of generous donation. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. No statement, no question, no nothing. He's just like, here, have this $5 donation. Thanks, man. Appreciate you supporting the channel and supporting Yasmin's future. In case you guys didn't know, all super chats go to Yasmin's college fund. I took on this project of creating a YouTube channel, and I knew I had to do something good with it. And of course, anytime you serve the public, maybe you're trying to inform people, get important news or whatever, or update people on certain things, you feel, satisfied that you're helping and doing a good service. But, getting monetized and trying to save money for Yasmin, it's kind of been a goal. And that's one of the things I'm doing with the super chats is doing it for the baby. Got it. I was scratching my head when Legere was rumored to become. Apparently, John, the talks were heavy. It was not like far away. They were closing in on some pretty detailed discussions. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes somewhere. I don't expect him to stay with T-Mobile long. I do expect him to hang around for 2020. I just can't see him going right upon the merger completion. I don't know, man. I feel like he would want to be there for that start. Yeah, they've been working. I'm telling you, it's been good. Yeah, Scott, Mike Sievert's not John, but he could be just as good as John. Like when it comes to serving as a CEO. John's he's a showman. Maybe Mike's not a showman. You don't have to be a showman to be an effective CEO. Carlos, friend of the show, thank you for being here, bro. Appreciate it. Really dirty play by Dish. Yeah, Sean, and what's crazy is so I'm really interactive in my comment section. I listen to the people. I get the pulse of the people. I ask people to comment. I don't avoid it. I appreciate the dialogue and the discussion in the comment section. And what I'm hearing from people, there's two sides. There's one side of the story where people are all for low-income consumers being protected and being represented in the marketplace, which is where I stand. And then there's people that say, well, there's other options. My point in that story with Dish is they're removing themselves out of the market and eliminating an option. And that I'm not a fan of. I don't like low-income segment consumers to only have one or two options. I want to see them with several. And of course, that's all due to competition. So if Dish is removing themselves from the competition, I'm not a fan. I think that has to be a concession built into regulations with the merger concessions. So, yeah. Oh, God, Corey. Hopefully you can get some LTE, man. It is kind of chilly tonight, Paul. 8 years with T-Mobile. Got even better. Dish is just wrong. You ain't lying, bro. Yeah, appreciate the support, Ronald. Thank you. Jackson, good to have you on. Not a man of many words. I think John should go to Dish and get them up and running. They're not trying to spend that money on John. Could you imagine Charlie Ergen hiring John Legere? Like, hell would have to freeze over. What's up, Tito? Longtime friend of the show. Thanks for coming by tonight. Johnny, best phone to get for T-Mobile for the 5G? It's either got to be the Note 10 Plus 5G or it's going to be the OnePlus 7 Pro 5G if it's the McLaren edition, whatever it's going to be. I don't know. I trust Samsung a little bit more than OnePlus with 5G. That's just me, but they're going to be expensive. 1300 bucks to get in them. So I don't know. You gotta consider that too. Cost. Sean, thank you, man. Appreciate it, bro. Your daughter's heading to college next fall. That's fantastic, man. Congratulations. You got to be a proud father in that, right, Sean? Like you feel like at least in some way, shape, or form, like it's an accomplishment. You helped your little girl get to a point in her life where, she's starting a big journey, getting her education, starting a career potentially, and wherever that career takes her, catapulting her to become, an accomplished and a fine young lady. I like I said, I'm looking forward to those days. I'm not in a hurry for those days. I know that tuition is going to be crazy, which is why I would say I really appreciate the donation, man. You never have to donate. It's always just something that, we try to do within the community. And I do appreciate you, Sean. Thank you, man. And congratulations on your daughter. John, stick with T-Mobile for a couple years, then retire. He could, but they're giving him a lot of money to retire or just kind of step down, I guess. What's going on, Scott? Good to have you on, man. Thanks for stopping by tonight. I don't see John leaving T-Mobile. Legere seems so happy as CEO of T-Mobile. Well, I mean, they're giving him a lot of money to step down. So where he goes or what he does, I guess we'll not know until he does it. I mean, he could always step on as an advisor or a member of the board. There's always those options there. Not much, John. The only thing I could say is it looks like John Legere is staying put at T-Mobile. He will not be going anywhere for now. I think it's important to put that little for now because things can change, as you could see. Got some nice specs there. Appreciate you, Ricky. Thanks for putting that up. Ryan says the DOJ setup dish is insane. They should have had Peter Adderton buy Boost. And Ryan, I agree. I think Peter was the guy to do it, but he'd be getting his old company back. I feel like the DOJ tried to avoid that. I don't know if that was a smart idea. I'm just saying I feel like that's what they were doing, All right, John. Take it easy, bro. Thanks for being here. S11 plus 5G. Well, that would be available, mid to late Q1 2020. 300 on the upload. Wow. Crazy. Is that true, Mills Lane? I haven't heard that. I know that their concentration, it's got to be more than that. There's just no way. Most connectivity in the near future is going to be LTE. So I would actually think that it's probably not the case. I mean, most of the time when I'm connected to band 71, the 600 megahertz, I'm seeing 10 megahertz. So I don't know. I'd be surprised if it was just 5. I mean, what are they going to do with that, right? Tech for your needs. Good to have you on. Heath, you're not late. You're on time, man. See you, John. And 25 is great. That's really where they want to be. Most of the time I'm seeing 10, but Sprint CEO after the merger. See ya. You're out of here, bro. They don't want him. CEOs at Sprint are not long for the telecom business. They have done a horrible job. Promise SoftBank. It's not Sprint. Look at Uber, WeWork. Ryan, I got to hold them all accountable. I can't say it's just SoftBank either. So SoftBank, the parent company, they're the investors. I mean, it's their fault for investing, but I also blame Sprint too. I mean, we have to hold these employees accountable. We have to hold the executives accountable. I get they are hired by SoftBank representation executives, but we got to hold them accountable. Want the merger to end and Sprint to be sold to. Yeah, I'm with you. I was kind of hoping that Sprint could end up with a company that has a lot of money, like a lot of money. So that way they can kind of return to their days of glory, get some new executives in there, John is staying on at T-Mobile. No plans to move to WeWork. It looks like he's declined the position or something happened in talks. I don't know. What's up, Phablet Guru? Community college, then go to 4-year college. Yeah, you ain't lying, man. Save tons of money. 5 meg. That's really weird. I wonder how much of that region has just 5 megahertz. It's crazy. Yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate the reminder. Go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. I think maybe T-Mobile may get some of those customers from Dish. Something tells me Metro would be cool with it. Cricket would be cool with it. They'd gladly take them. What's up, Frank? You're not late, man. You're good. How many years it would take to be only 5G, no LTE? I don't know. 15 years, 20 years. How long did it take LTE to be by itself? I mean, it's been over 10, and it's still not LTE only. Sprint's still rocking tons of 3G. AT&T's got places where it's 3G. Verizon apparently still has places where it's 3G. That's pretty awesome. How many years it would take to be only 5G now? I'm telling you, probably about 15 years, 20 years. T-Mobile band 12 and Verizon band 66. I do like Verizon band 66. I do not like T-Mobile's band 12. Only if it's aggregated, then it's fine. Is T-Mobile going to stay with Sprint? I don't know what you mean there, Johnny, honestly. If you get a 5G phone, you get to use both 4G and 5G. Yes, that's the name of the game. Be that way for some decades, at least a couple decades. These new T-Mobile 5G prepaid bands are on December 6th, actually. Went through a buyout with a water cooler company. The owner stuck around to smooth things over for 2 years and retired a wealthy man. Maybe that's a good way to do it. New York City only has 10 by 10 on band 71. They're using 5 for LTE. The other 5 is for 5G. So that means they're 5G ready, y'all. They're going to have to kick up that concentration, though. They 5 by 5, but there's not a lot of phones that are 5G compatible. So that's probably why they haven't really kicked over more concentration. But again, like I said, upgrades are coming. The network will be boosted quickly. You know what, John? I've been saying it for a long time. I'm with you. I think your first statement is where you say, I can tell you why they failed. Honestly, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they failed. They failed dating back some bad investments, all the way back. I'm talking 10 plus years ago. They made some bad decisions financially, and recently it gets worse. I mean, they've got issues with the network. They've got issues with their executives. They've got issues with money, their investment. I mean, they've got tons of issues. Had a line, get a line deal 2 months ago, and now they don't want to honor. Who is that? Which carrier is that? Yeah, which carrier is that not wanting to? Ryan says, if you were Sprint CEO, how would you fix Sprint? I think if they spent the money on LTE and sold some of that spectrum. Ryan, to be honest with you, it's a good question. If they sold any of their spectrum, they disable their ability to compete in the future. But if they don't sell the spectrum, their debt sticks around. The merger allows them to stay viable as a partner in a business, which is why they prefer the merger over selling their spectrum, because selling spectrum devalues their company. Selling themselves to another company helps them retain the profits in the future. It makes it a sustainable income moving forward. So if I was Sprint, I would be trying to do exactly this, whatever they're doing now. But if I was Sprint 15, 20 years ago, I would have never bought Nextel. I would have never invested into Radio Shacks. I would have never have done a lot of the things they did. I would have developed Boost better. I would have did more with Virgin. Uh, there was just I wouldn't have invested in Tidal. I don't know. There would have been a lot of different things I would have did, like if I was SoftBank, especially recently. Man, am I behind here? Sheesh. Man, I lost my spot. Oh no. Okay, I think I'm back where I need to be. Okay. New York City has more than that. You're just seeing the 10 on LT, so that means there's 10 saved for 5G. Okay. Alan Dub, what's up, brother? Good to have you on, man. First place in the world to get 5G? Man, I'm going to guess it's going to be an Asian nation. I don't know for sure, but like maybe Korea, possibly, or Japan. Not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. It says only 5x5 on LTE. Everything you said about Sprint failing is correct, but I would like to add they also slowly over the last couple of years have raised prices on plans. That's 100% true. See, and that's, John, that's the technical stuff. That's not even like what we talk about is from the business side, right? You're actually talking about company policy in terms of how they're conducting business day to day with their customers, which you think about it, it's like, how are you going to raise pricing when you can't even retain your customers? Now you're forcing them away. You've got a questionable network with limited services nationwide and poor performing markets. Like how can you justify that? You need to get John or Elon Musk who will lead them. Carlos. Carlos, thanks for the monster super chat, man. Appreciate you. Let's get the likes up, people. Thanks for the compliments, man. Hey, honestly, Carlos, I don't really have haters. I think there's like one. I haven't seen him in a while, man. He's been laying low. But for the most part, my community is amazing. You guys are the best. I really do appreciate you guys. All the encouragement, the kind words, the support, liking the videos, commenting, being here for the live streams and the podcast. It's truly amazing. Such a great community I have. How many places have 5G working in the world? There's dozens of countries that have some semblance of a 5G network. There's several in Asia. There's several here in, the Americas, North America specifically, with Canada and the US. And yeah, we're jumping the gun. We're trying to get ahead. Verizon expected to shut down 3G. In many areas, they've already shut down 3G, but in some markets, I think they've retained it at some level. Mostly rural areas still retain some of the 3G around the nation. South Korea is the first to. You see, I knew it was either South Korea or Japan. Got it. Yeah, Carlos is a very, very kind and generous person. Africa was the first. What? Tom, are you sure? Really? Japan? I thought it was either Japan or South Korea. I feel like it was one of them. Sprint 1 million copies of Jay-Z Holy Grail. Was that like a purchase? Is that real? Did they do that? You always say Sprint is wrong, so why is the merger idea so great? Okay, most people are afraid of the merger. All right, Ryan, so it's complicated. I want a merger that makes a third national carrier more legitimate against Verizon and AT&T. The best case scenario is Sprint doesn't fail us. Truth be told, the best thing for the market is Sprint and T-Mobile to become more competitive than they even are today. The problem is that's not happening. Sprint is not competitive, and they're failing us as a market competitor. So the second best scenario is a company buys them, infuses the money and runs it right, and brings Sprint back to their glory days, and we get a legitimate fourth carrier. If that can't happen, I'm okay with Dish getting it as long as they compete, protect some market representation for lower income consumers, and then I don't even care if they sell out as long as they sell out to a legitimate competitor. Sprint's failing us, though. That's the bottom line. South Korea. Yeah, it's easy for them to have tons of 5G. It's such a small country. We talking John Legere staying with T-Mobile, not going to WeWork, and Dish Network potentially getting rid of not really highly profitable customers. Honestly, Corey, I remember Nextel having unlimited walkie-talkie. I don't remember them having unlimited. Well, data wasn't really a thing back then, so it would have been unlimited talk. I remember like 300 minutes and stuff like that and 300 messages. T-Mobile has actually improved in my area over Sprint. T-Mobile is still slower than AT&T. AT&T is in a really good position right now. I wonder if that's true about the commissions. Me too, Alan. I think it's true. If you're willing to pay the bucks, you should get whatever you're paying for. Let It Rain 5G, Pure Play Operator Rain launches, Africa First commercial. Is that right? Man. What's up, Gene? What's up, Oscar? Wing has been better. Man, you guys keep talking about Wing, bro. Nextel was awesome. The new Nextel is even better. What? The new Nextel is even better? Wait, so who's operating Nextel? Dish is getting rid of... I know. If it's true, Gene, we don't know. Like, this is being predicted, so... All right, Cash Game. See you later, bro. Take it easy. Singapore. Yeah, there's some Asian nations ahead. I mean, they don't have the footprint to serve. They don't have to cover like 10 trillion square feet, you know? Global Mobile Suppliers Association identified doing actively investing. Okay. Oh, it's a lot. New ISP. Okay. Who do you think? T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon will lead in 5G? It ain't Verizon. That's easy. Post-merger, AT&T, then T-Mobile, and then, of course, T-Mobile could really put a hurting on with 2.5 gigahertz. Positioning as of right now, as it is, I would say probably AT&T. They seem to have the best balance and network portfolio. Virgin Mobile, I'm hoping that don't go. I don't know. They're supposed to be protecting it. We'll see. Donating $75. That's one heck of a donation, Tyler. Be great if Dish does well. Competition. Oh, I'm hoping. Commission for reps are the highest I've seen. So dealers are happy to, or those working for Sprint are happy with their commissions. Data speed exceeded been achieved using 5G mobile device and a vehicle traveling 150K. Well, that's pretty impressive. I wonder how well it was able to hold. What's up, George? Good to have you on. AT&T. Huh. New Nextel is now MVNO using H2 MVNO for the data. So who's the parent network? Like who's the provider? I do have the new Disney Plus, Tito. I actually have it through Verizon. So that's how I'm using it. My daughter loves it, I can tell you that much. Yeah, Gene's got it too. I think a lot of people are going to be happy with the Disney Plus service. I know it's another thing, but if you bundle it with Hulu and ESPN Plus, those three services are pretty much only like, I think it's $13. So that being said, if you use all three services, it's a pretty nice deal. If you've got kids, Disney Plus is solid. If you like watching all that premium sports content through ESPN Plus, like that's really nice. And Hulu is great, for TV, all the different shows and movies and things like that. Yep, got my 1 year free with Verizon. Of course they did, Alan. Of course. I mean, who doesn't want to watch Dumbo, dude? I used to love that movie back in the day, man, as a kid. $100 super chat before? I don't think I ever had $100 super chat. Maybe, man, what's been the highest super chat? I've seen 20, I've seen 30, I may have seen 50. Maybe I've seen 75. It was either, man, who was it? Was it Mark? I think it was Mark B. Gave a massive super chat once. Maybe it was $100. I don't know. It was huge though. Had to put that in Yasmin's piggy bank. I think it's good for T-Mobile that John Legere leave. I think for the future of the company, John leaving is inevitable. I just feel like they'll kind of be ready to move on and get a new face to represent the company. Not that it's a bad thing that he's coming or going or whatever. I just think like it's due, The company's going to want a new identity, a premium identity, one that doesn't involve things of the past, which John, it may kind of seem that way. People might not look at the company as the serious competitor to AT&T and Verizon, as long as John, who always embraced like the underdog role, they're not going to be an underdog. So maybe that's kind of what they're thinking. Dish as a fourth carrier has no support, no coverage to be. But they're going to have T-Mobile network as their provider, so their network should be fine. I don't think so, Tyler. I haven't heard of anything like that, so I doubt it. Gary, got a used unlocked Verizon LG V50 5G on T-Mobile. I can get T-Mobile with 5G, right? I think that one's going to be millimeter wave. Unless it's a Sprint phone, then it's mid-band. Now, if it's unlocked Verizon, it's millimeter wave. Oh, that's pretty cool. Saw a show on Disney Plus on Edgeo called Free Climb. Oh man, I watch climbing mountains. It's scary stuff. Reason T-Mobile has banned 12 here is Hills and Valleys. Hopefully they upgrade to 71. They could use the 71 probably better. Do you think they'll extend the deal for Verizon customers to have Disney Plus longer than a year? Probably not. I think it was Mark B. It was like a 75. I think so. I think T-Mobile's postpaid plans are going to change on December 6th. I don't know, man. T-Mobile's got me on my toes. I don't really know what to think anymore. We'll see. I mean, I'm watching. I want to see if there's going to be plan changes, features, or pricing. We'll see. Hope John sticks around post merger to help things get settled before leaving. I agree. Thought I had to leave. Oh, good to have you back. Let's start a $100 super chat trend. Man, you guys, if it was a $100 super chat trend every time I super chatted, I won't even go to work. I just make videos all day for you guys. What's up, Ryan? Coverage is almost the same for band 12 and band 71. You mean propagation and coverage, Ricky? My band 12 performance over here in the CLE is not very good. I can tell you that much. Speed is not good. Signal strength is misleading. Tech for your needs, it just comes with time. What I will say is T-Mobile and AT&T have very similar bands. There's like bands 2 and 4 are shared amongst all carriers except Sprint. Sprint's the funny one, man. Sprint's got 25, 26, 41. T-Mobile's got 2, 4, 12, 66, 71. I think they're doing some LAA stuff, so they've got 46 in some markets. Yeah, it's kind of confusing. All the numbers. What's up, Brian? John leaves. They offer him a lot of money. You ain't lying. He's gonna have $80+ million waiting for him when he bounces from T-Mobile once they complete this merger. I don't know. I don't like T-Mobile's band 12. In my opinion, it hasn't been good. T-Mobile has such dirt. I would expect them to reduce their postpaid plans. Two different segments, though. They're not related to each other, honestly. You're always going to expect prepaid is cheaper. I don't know. We'll see what happens with postpaid. I'm watching. Let's go to work. Nah, staying home. I'm going to be trying Visible next Thursday. Sign up using their device swap. I sent my old device, got their R2 device for free. It's actually I hear it's actually pretty good. I mean, your expectations should be that of a free device. So it shouldn't be mind-blowing amazing, but it should be usable. Sprint band 25 is T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon band 2. You mean in terms of performance? I'll leave a post after the podcast. Okay. N270, we talking 5G. From time to time is my deal. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate the considerations, man. I need to leave Cricket Wireless AT&T network not in my area, El Paso. Really, Oscar? I'm surprised. I hear AT&T is really good in Texas, generally in like the Southwest. Actually, I hear they're pretty good. What's up, Eddie? Good to have you on, man. All right, so my goal was to be on for an hour. We've been on for about 40 minutes. So we've got about 20 minutes. Any topics that you guys want to discuss, of course, the platform is open for you to discuss anything or ask anything you want. But what I did want to say before I forget to do it, I do want to say a little bit about the story from this morning with Dish. If you watch the video, if you haven't watched the video, check it out. It's the one on, Dish getting rid of customers that aren't considered to be profitable. So what I will say is this, guys, and thank you for the super chat, Jamil. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Always very kind and generous. Appreciate you, Cuzzo. What I will say is I'm always for the consumer. There will never come a day where I take what a carrier says or what a carrier does and place that above what the consumer wants and needs. I'm very adamant about that, protecting consumer rights. The low-income consumer, a person who's on a fixed income, a person who has a family, multiple children, limited expendable income, they can only have meager accommodations when it comes to their smartphone service. I feel like that segment of the market needs competition and needs choices. With Boost there in prepaid, it offers that. If Dish decides to completely eliminate Boost from the picture and go away from prepaid, only focus on the profitability of postpaid, I see a problem with that. Even low-income consumers need to be represented and have options. I hear people, I listen to what people have to say in the comment section. I really do. And they try to get me to see things their way. And I hear them out and I read what they say and I listen to them. But I find it difficult to see a situation where losing Boost is a situation where it's okay and prepaid customers will be fine. It's not true. When they lose a competitor, the entire market is affected. That means more people are going to Sprint or from Sprint services like Boost, and they're going to Metro by T-Mobile, and they're going to Cricket, and they're going to Visible, or to some other MVNO. But most people want to stay with what they have going on. They don't necessarily want to leave the company they have. If they've had them for a while, they must be satisfied and happy. We don't want to eliminate that. I want to keep the competition there. And it could be protected with the right concessions and the right regulators putting the right stipulations in place for the merger, holding Dish accountable in that way. It's not that anybody's trying to tell the businesses what to do, but if you build it into the concession, say, hey, here's the deal. You do it or you don't. You get what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Yeah, they're not cheap. You're not late, Jacob. You're good. I think AT&T turned off band 46 LA for some reason. I haven't known the access about 2 weeks. And that's probably really, really fast. MT Houston, Texas. Hey, Chris, glad you could make it here. Thanks for coming and thanks for joining the SMT Nation. Glad you're enjoying the content, man. Stick around, make sure that you're subscribed and you hit that notification bell. And, all the videos of everything that's happening in the wireless space. There's tons of information out there. I try to do my best to present it in a clear and logical manner. And I do my best. What's up, K-Deuce? Good evening, Caleb. Glad you can make it tonight, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, a lot of people, Tyler. A lot of people are on a tight budget. 1 bar signal and might have to connect to Wi-Fi. Now with the current administration in DC, that's for another channel. Remember, AK is not licensed, so first come, first serve. I see. Focus Group reached out to me a few years ago regarding phones. Verizon was in the works of making a phone that could use both for work and personal use. Haven't heard anything. Maybe it didn't have any buzz. Maybe it didn't generate any excitement amongst people. Thanks, man. Appreciate you being here. All right, so that was kind of my take with the dish situation in the morning video. The one that just dropped, which you guys may have not seen, I just uploaded that video probably like an hour and a half ago. The news coming out of T-Mobile is that John will not be going to WeWork. John will be staying on as CEO of T-Mobile for now. No news of where he's going to go, if he's going to go. He does have kind of like an exit deal where, basically, if he wraps up this merger, it closes out, he's getting paid lots and lots of money, like 80 plus million. Hey, Tech Free Needs, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Glad to help. Glad to be one of the voices here in the community. It's a pleasure to do it, and I enjoy it. It's a labor of love, and I definitely have enjoyed, the community interaction and becoming a part of the movement. This informational movement here on YouTube. Spectrum Mobile or Metro. Spectrum Mobile does run on Verizon, so it could be really good. Wi-Fi 5. I can't even tell what that face is, like a party emoji. Uncarried 2.0, T-Mobile announces 5G home broadband rollout. And wouldn't you love to hear that announcement, Tom, coming from John himself, right? Yeah, support the channel, y'all. Let's go ahead and hit that like button. Appreciate you guys doing that for me. Thank you. Hey, no problem. It's a pleasure, Oscar. Thank you for being here and supporting the channel. What happened with the deal that Verizon and AT&T were going to make? You know what, Tito? So when I found that and I saw the report, look, I'm a skeptic of that report, and here's why. In the United States, every provider, every national wireless carrier has different network technology. Each one uses different frequency of waves, different spectrum types. Some is shared, right? They have similar spectrum. I get it. But that's how they distinguish themselves, based on their networks. So why would you have Verizon? Because it's assumed, and it's been in the past, that Verizon has the most LTE across the nation. It makes no sense for AT&T and Verizon to have a roaming agreement. Not here in the US, based on how the market works. In China, where things are centralized, it makes total sense for networks to roam on each other. The problem is here, they try to distinguish themselves, make themselves different in that way. So I had a problem with that report. There has to be more concrete evidence of it coming out for me to support that. It's just a couple of places. I couldn't really confirm it, though. So I have to call BS on that report, actually. I can't say that that's going to happen. And there's like a fly or something over here. So I have to call BS on that report. I don't think it's going to happen. It doesn't make sense that it would. Networks distinguish themselves in terms of the companies. What's up, Stace? Good to have you on. Glad you can make it. Gene, thank you, man. Appreciate the kind words. Drum stay merger kind of means yeah. Do you think John was a good thing for the mobile? He was a beautiful thing for the mobile industry. I, honest to goodness, don't think Verizon or AT&T would have gone back to unlimited without John Legere and T-Mobile. Seriously, I truly believe that. He was good between 12 and 16. He hasn't been bad since 16. There was just more, right? More action. Now it seems like AT&T and Verizon have responded, and John hasn't done much since then. So roaming is garbage. You can make a phone call or text. Data is throttled. You ain't lying, bro. But that's all the networks can handle, Let's see if we can help Franco. He gave up a huge super chat. Thank you, man. Let's see if we can help Franco out. Does anyone know what I can do? Added 2 lines from T-Mobile 2 months ago, and now they don't want to honor it. I actually saw a video here, and it was aimed current customers. I talked to a manager. Huh. So, Franco, have you gone into the store where you added the lines? Or was this online with customer care? What I would do, Franco, for starters, is if you haven't spoken to the customer care team. There should be a specialized customer care team that could help you through this. I'm not really sure. When you signed up for the service, they should have told you about the stipulations. They should have given you all the requirements. They should have showed you what you're, adding lines and all that, how the breakdown was and how it would affect your bill. Did you purchase phones on this? I think that kind of matters too. It seems to me like you have to speak to either the person or the customer care rep that you signed on with, or you have to speak to like customer loyalty and retention about this, because it seems a little bit messy in my opinion. Once all carriers go to eSIM, LTE and 5G. Yeah. And that's kind of, I don't know if you saw this, Ricky, but the new Motorola Razr phone, that flip phone, is eSIM only. I was so disappointed when I heard that, man, because I was really hoping it was going to be a dual SIM phone with one SIM, one physical SIM, and then one eSIM. T-Force on Twitter, and they both said it won't go through. How is that happening? When you signed on, what was the deal? What was your agreement? What's up, Gregory? Not much. John's staying on with T-Mobile for the foreseeable future. He's not going to WeWork. Dish looking to get rid of prepaid customers because they're not profitable enough on those plans. Verizon starting a new corporate store layout. It's called 2.0. That's interesting, Gene. I'll have to take a look at it. I went to the store in T-Force on Twitter. I don't know. Is T-Force is that the name of the customer care team or something? What did he expect or what he was told when he added the 2 lines? That's what I'm saying, Adam, is you don't, like, when you go and you deal with customer care, you want to make sure you get everything laid out. Here's the plan you're going to be on. Here's the cost per line. Here's how many lines you have. If you're getting devices, here's your payments for each phone. Here's what your bill is going to be at the end of the month. All tax and fees included, You go through all that. Yeah, I don't, Franco, I mean, that was so long ago. I'd be surprised, like, what were the terms on it? Like, you have to look at the agreement or, whatever it was to sign on. I don't know. I like I said, this is something that only customer care can handle with you, because I don't know when you signed up for the service, what they told you were getting and how much you were paying. You would have to authorize that and agree to it. So I don't know what they told you. It's so cool, Gene, but at $1,500, no way. What's up, Gregory? Ruth, good to have you on. eSIM is a step back in time 15 years ago, everything. You may call it a step back, but eSIM is kind of awesome when you have a real SIM and then an eSIM in conjunction with one another, If you're a T-Mobile member, 611, they'll get you right. Okay. So that gets you to customer care. It's true, Gene. Verizon's the only company that's going to have it. From what I hear, you can't even buy the Razr from Motorola, Lenovo without it being activated Verizon. Crazy. Rebecca, good to have you on. Thanks for being here tonight. I think in this case with the eSIM, though, it's more about the flexibility in having 2 SIMs. Like, if you have an eSIM and then you have one single SIM, that seems more appropriate in its usage. I wouldn't want an eSIM only phone, without a physical SIM. I think I want both. $1,500, it's crazy. And being Verizon exclusive, that's kind of a no-go for me. All right, guys, I'll be on for another 5 minutes, but then I got to bounce. So any comments or questions you guys want to do, get them in quickly, please. Bob from Chicago, what's up, buddy? Glad you could be here tonight. Thank you for stopping by. What is it, 5:40 in Chicago? You on that Central Time? Mr. A, I am right. We all know Verizon is king of Motorola devices. Crazy thing is I can't believe it's still like that. It was like that for years. It looks like they're kind of hanging on to those Motorola deals. Before SIM cards, they used IMEI. Then GSM came out with SIM cards. CDMA stayed with IMEI. Then LTE came. It's all true. I remember the first because I was the Verizon and Alltel for years. It was all CDMA, and then when LTE started, you had to get a SIM card in there for LTE, but you still had to activate your IMEI through Verizon to run the CDMA side of the network, and then you needed a SIM card to run the LTE network. What a mess! What a mess! So you still had to go in the store. You still had to call. It's a cool phone, man. It's a cool concept. $1,500 is crazy. It's not worth it. Mid-range processor, limited camera technology. I agree with you. There's nothing special about it from that side. The design is nice though. Mr. David, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate the kind words. I'm glad you could make it tonight. Glad you could be part of the podcast, and good to have you on. Thank you for stopping by. Man, I think I may still have my original razor somewhere. Hey, Tom, I agree, man. It's always good though. You guys are awesome. A great community. No word as of right now, Gregory. Something tells me there's, stuff going on behind closed doors. Deals are being made. Ready to read between the lines when it comes to agreements. I've gotten burned in the past by what people say, and the agreement and title is the same. You do have to check things out, You need incentive outside of coverage to stay with Verizon. Yeah. 1500 for the new raise. Yeah, it's nuts. How do you switch the number for an eSIM? You need to call to swap it, but if you use the SIM, you swap to a new phone. That's true. I mean, I don't know. From what I understand, you could do it all online through eSIM, so you don't need to talk to a rep per se. I guess it can all be done software based. And, based on the way things are going now with digital literacy, people don't have a problem going online and doing everything on their own. If I was getting cable service from a company, I would prefer that they send me a self-installation kit. I don't need a technician. If all the hardware is in place, then why do I need a technician? You know? All right. So my goal was to be on here for 1 hour. It looks like we're fast approaching it. I got a couple more minutes and then I'm going to be heading out. I got to fix a MacBook. I got to do that here, and it's already getting late. There's no sunlight or anything. It's dark over here already. 1,500 for a Snapdragon 7 series, less than 3,000. Yeah. The battery life will probably be okay. I could see it getting almost a day probably. But $1,500 is that's bonkers. It's generation 1. It'll definitely have problems. Generation 2 will be better, probably a little bit cheaper. So I would say wait. What's up, Aiden? Good to have you on. Tech Fairy needs take it easy, brother. You ain't lying, Ricky. We were having tons of problems with SIM cards lately. All this fraudulent activity. Correction, T-Force is like a high-tech T-Mobile person that can help you on Twitter. Before I added the lines, I got confirmation from the store. Franco, if you have confirmation from the store and from the sales reps, 611 and Twitter, it sounds to me like you legit have to take this to the Better Business Bureau. Seriously. If customer care is not willing to make the accommodations for what you signed up for, I mean, either you're going to request your money back or you're going to have to file a complaint. It's a business issue at this point. Paul, I totally agree. It's a great group, tons of learning, keeping up in what's going on in the wireless space. Take it easy, Oscar. Once people hear what they want to hear and stop listening to the rest when it comes to terms. Hey, thank you, Mark. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. Oh, and Mark, I will be getting in touch with you very soon. Expect an email from me tonight after I fix that MacBook. I think we could get down to the nitty-gritty on that situation we emailed earlier. So I didn't forget about you. I've just had a hardware problem and I've been busy, so I haven't been able to address it, but should be able to get to it tonight. I'll be in contact with you. New Razor not on Verizon website yet. Yeah, I think they're starting pre-orders in like a month, and then they're distributing in January or something. Take it easy, Jacob. You stay well as well, my friend. 3 weeks until T-Mobile 5G launch. Save your money up. It's not going to be expensive, though. Take it easy, Heath. We'll see you around, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right. That's an hour. I want to do some shout outs and then some thank yous. Big shout out to the subscribers here on the SMT YouTube channel. Big shout out to all the viewers. I want to give a shout out especially to those here in the live chat. Big shout out to the replay crew if you're watching this on replay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you to all my moderators. I saw John earlier. I saw Jamaal. I appointed Ricky Florida Keys as a new moderator. I think that's all the different moderators that were on tonight. Glad you guys could make it. Big shout out to everybody that participated in the live chat. If you're in the comment section on the replay crew, go ahead and drop me a line. Let me know what's going on. Hope you guys are well out there. Big shout out to the Patreon, the patrons supporting SMT Productions, as well as the Discord server. I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. It was a pleasure being on, and I was glad you guys could make it here tonight, whether you're watching this in the live or the replay. I do have to go fix a MacBook. Wish me luck. I hope I can actually get it fixed. Wouldn't want to disappoint, but yeah, we'll check you guys out soon. I do have a couple videos dropping in the near future. There are some exclusive videos on the Patreon that are up there. If you guys want to consider supporting there and get full access to all the videos, exclusive stuff only found on the Patreon, check it out. It's in the description box below, as well as the Discord server. Check us out there. There's a lot there. PayPal donations can be made there as well. And got the Twitter handle also. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday night for the podcast. I'm the SMT, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.